Come on in here. I'm not about to wait for y'all to do this message. Um, I didn't have any plans on doing a channel message today, so this is going to be very interesting because, like, literally, all right, let's talk about. So, first and foremost, after I did the channel message yesterday, it's not that I didn't want to go to sleep. I actually took a nap, so I ain't gonna hold you. Like, don't think I ain't being refreshed and refurbished. Refurbished is interesting. Um, I kept getting on these downloads, uploads, spiritual downloads, uploads, and it's like I had to keep making these SNR messages for like the singers, rappers, celebrities, so because like Beyonce had entered the chat, and it was like, dang, like it was like every other message, it was like, dang, dang, dang. So like it's something about the energy right now. It's like, cause it is Scorpio season, you know. So it's like you might be just getting enlightened about a whole bunch of stuff, and that is what's been going on, especially today. And that could, and I just looked at the calendar date, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's the 11th. 11 is the number in regards to Aquarius placements, prophecy and prediction. So I'm like, it makes more sense why all this was going on. Because, like, when I say it was like message, 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 I'm like, dang. But I'm like, all right, that was just for like the SNR messages. So, like, it's a lot of people going on in regards to that. And even after I did the message, this one video that came up on my For You page was talking about DJ Academics. And like, I know there's been a lot of controversy in regards to him. I don't watch DJ Academics like that. If I see something, I see something. But like, they were saying something along the lines of whatever he got going on. I don't know why God want me to talk about this, but it's something significant. So it's like they were saying whatever he got going on. They're talking about the origin of how he started. First and foremost, I didn't know DJ Academics is technically from where I'm from. Not like literally, but like I didn't know it was like that. So honorable mention. But and then it made sense. Like it's like, all right. So fun fact, if y'all ever want to know, me and 6ix9ine got the same birthday. We just not born on the same year. And then Academics and 6ix9ine was actually on the Aiden Ross podcast recently, and they're both Tauruses. And I just think that is a very interesting link up when Tauruses link up. I'm not saying I haven't seen it before, but I'm just like, So back to what I was saying about Academics. They were talking about when he first started his digital content creation. He basically was being lured to talk about people in Chicago, and whatever he got going on now, he was trying to justify himself in a particular situation in regards to how he started digital content creation. What he was saying was like, when he started making them videos, it was like, that's what was trending, and he was making things trend in regards of Chicago, and he was putting a lot of artists on, and even record labels was even putting him on to do so. But the thing is, a lot of people that Academics talked about have, unfortunately for them, passed away. And I'm like, it kind of makes you wonder, right? Because the record, and if you listen to the previous channel message I just did, or the SNR messages I did yesterday in specific, it's kind of interesting that record labels went to DJ Academics, asked him to do whatever monologue in regards of these Chicago musician rappers, whatever you want to call them, and then a few years later, while he gaining success, these same rappers pass away. God forbid my life. Now, the thing about the video that was most interesting to me was because he was trying to make justifications, and his justification was talking something about mental illness. He was saying like he did feel bad after the fact, not while doing it, but like after the fact, seeing all these people die that he spoke about. He was saying that like one of the contributing factors as to why the people in Chicago who were acting violently or had a violent death was due to like mental illness. And the person who was making like the content based on whether or not DJ Academics justifications was right or wrong, was saying, all right, if he feels that way, he feels though he contributed into people's mental illnesses, or people who already had mental illnesses, he like was triggering them. They were like, why don't and he's already so successful, why don't he like delete his other platforms? Simple answer, he's still getting revenue. What are you talking about? Because he was saying like, the person who was making content was saying like, um, if he feels as though he was a contribution to like their mental healthness, their mental health, and he's aware of that, and he was also mentioning like, it's people, loved ones that still go back and possibly like watch those content because like that's all they have now. He was saying like, so where's the justification of like keeping the channel up if we know it's triggering people? And I was just like, wow. I'm like, the simple answer, the revenue. But he's not gonna say that verbatim. So I don't know, something about that is very significant. Now, one moment. So, excuse me. I had So after I took my nap, I woke up with my nap. And today, and then when I woke up, it's like I woke up, and it was like, even if I wasn't supposed to be in the dream state and receive messages, it was like, nah. It was like, God was like, yeah, you surpassed that now. Like, I could just talk to you directly. God was just sending me so many confirmations. And I'm just waking up. I'm just like, it's not kind of like, oh, hold up. But it was kind of, it's kind of like, oh, it was like, oh my gosh. It was like, all right, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my, there's so many epiphanies, I'll say. And I'm just like, dang. So I'm just like, dang, like all day it's just been like epiphany. I'm just like, dang. And it wasn't until like now, like around 9 o'clock, I realized it's the 11th. I'm like, oh, that's why so many predictions, prophecies. I'm lying about a whole bunch of things, so on and so forth. So the day before, all right. So here we go into the channel message. We won't get into it, but like the day before, I came in contact with that Pisces. That Pisces Leo is a guy. He actually contributed to one of the American Heritage Society classes, where we were talking about Tarotland, and he actually started giving me info into like what Wicca is and stuff like that. Even though I don't practice, but I was like, all right, let me hear you. Who's giving me some insight from his perspective, or as being a Wiccan. I'm sorry that why I kind of like. It's not like witch, warlock, all that stuff like that bother me per se. Because if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. It's just why is that word so close to the word wicked? God forbid. Like it's just too close to comfort for y'all in that variation. But to each his own. I practice Wicca, so I had a conversation with him, and I spoke about that in the previous channel message. And I'm gonna mention, so basically, I was going shopping, and when I was there, like I was just so happy that he was answering certain questions for me. It's not the most ladylike thing to do, like to be like, oh, you want some from the store center, and like that's not your man or nothing like that. But I'm just like, either or. So like, I was just being nice, and he was just like, no, I'm not even gonna hold you. I saw him looking at like, so backstory. So I kept coming in contact with him previously, like randomly, and like all this stuff was happening. Like the other day was wild. I was supposed to do a channel message about that, but like, so all right. Before the day we had, all right. So the other day we had a conversation, right? This is like I seen him like 2 or 3 times this week so far. The first time I seen him, we was having a conversation, and I had just ordered some food, and then, all right. So I keep realizing something, and this is something that's been happening my whole life, like. Let's say I go out somewhere, run, and go do an errand, and then I come across a guy, whether I know them or not. Like the guy will follow me, almost to like they want to follow me home type shit. And like, it's cute till it's not cute. like I don't have no problem with it, but when it can start getting creepy, I start being like, like I'd be like, where you going? And then like yo, sometimes they be, I feel like that's the tip or hint. When I be like, where you going? That means like you need to find something else to do besides follow me. You know what I'm saying? Not here obviously, but I'm just saying like it as a female, it does get a little creepy sometimes. I like the protectiveness, the overprotectiveness, but at the same time, if I don't really know you, if I'm Wilmer Leon in the comment section says he's a rat. Fuck out of here. I don't know what that got. That don't got shit to do with me. Now, all right. So, long story short, other day I seen him. I ordered my food. He came right while I was waiting for my food, but I was outside the establishment. So when I was outside the establishment, or whatever the case may be, he's trying to like pick my brain, figure out what I'm doing, what I'm getting into. He offered me a drink. He had some look on him. It was cool. It was cool. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then, and it's not that I didn't want it. It's like the look that he had. It was like, I'm like, I remember the days I used to drink that specific drink with certain about people, certain kind of people, and I was just like, not to be rude or anything like that. I'm just saying like a demographic of people I used to hang out with. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to relive the past. I'm like, yeah, nah. So I declined the liquor. It's not that I didn't want it or I wasn't, like it's just like it's not my cup of tea. Like it's not my drink. It's not my preferred drink. So I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Then he's like, then it's like this mirroring thing. I don't know if this is like a Pisces thing. So like, he's like, what you doing? What you got going on? I was like, I just ordered food. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go get some food. So he didn't go to where I ordered food. He went to the location next door to go grab some food. But he had like his vehicle. He was like, can you look over my vehicle? Can you watch it for me? I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm like, cool. He go into the establishment. He come back out. He was like, yeah, they ain't have no food that I wanted. Then he started talking about how he actually wanted to work at the brick and mortar, the establishment that he was just trying to purchase food from, but he ain't seen that and he wanted. And I'm like, then work there then. Why don't work there? And he was just like, oh yeah, they won't hire me. And I'm just like, what makes you so sure that they won't hire me? He was like, they don't like me or he don't like me or something like that. He said something like that. And I just kind of brushed it off because I'm just like, all right. So fast forward, soon as he said, oh, they won't hire me. Now, I used to work at this other establishment that was across the street previously, right? Soon as he said, oh, yeah, they won't hire me, they don't like me, whatever the case may be, these two females, like, I'm not going to hold you, like, urban. All right, let's be all the way through. They ghetto as fuck. They come, like, so I don't know what happened at the establishment across the street. The two females they started walking our direction, loud, belligerent. Basically, they had just fought somebody. I don't know who they had fought. I didn't see the fight. I didn't know what happened. It's like the aftermath, and the girl just like, they think I'm scared. I ain't scared of nobody. Yeah, but like, I ain't gonna hold you. When they was walking away from the establishment after they had just fought, and like after people fight, like the girls or whatever fight, and then like they popping it after the fact. When they was popping it as they was leaving the establishment after fighting whomever they had fought, but it was more like they was like in a hurry, like they popping it, but they kind of like skedaddling away, like it was really giving like they didn't really want the smoke type shit. Whoever they had fought, I didn't know what happened. They didn't look like they was disheveled really, wherever the case may be. But I ain't gonna hold you for some odd reason. I don't know if the girl was, but the girl kind of looked like she was pregnant. So I was kind of looking like, is she fighting while she pregnant? Like, what the? So I'm minding my business. So the guy I was talking to, the Pisces Leo, the man. He I could see like, I ain't gonna hold you. Those his people. He don't know though, but I'm saying like that's his demographic people. That's the type of people he be around. I don't be around people like that. So he's seen them. They're catching his gaze. I don't know if he find it entertaining, whatever the case may be. But I'm like, I step in front of him because it's like I just knew. By this man, I don't know if he was entertained or whatever the case may be, or he was interested. I don't know what was going on. I just knew if he gave them too much attention, his glare, whatever like that, and they just already in that energy, they was gonna redirect that to whatever had going on. And I was just I was minding my own business to begin with. This is the guy who came and started talking to me. Don't bring no bullshit my way. You know what I'm saying? I just intuitively knew that. So when I stepped in front of him and I started talking to him, he took his attention off of them, and then we continued our conversation. And like the woman, when they was walking past it, they kept getting louder and louder. But I was talking to him and he had my full undivided attention. I'm like, yes. So then he says, hey, where did you get food from? I told him where I got my food from. He said, all right, I'm about to order food there. I'm just like, all right. Because I didn't really understand in the moment, like, did you originally want to get food from where I got food from? Were you ever really hungry? Um, are you just getting food from there because I got food from there? So I was like, I'm all right. Come on, let's go. So, long story short, he needs somebody to watch his vehicle for a reason. So, like, I'm telling him, why don't you, at first I'm like, why don't you let, like, the homeless person watch, I'm like, why don't you let the homeless person watch your stuff? Because, like, the homeless person in particular, he, very kind. All right, that's the most I say, he would have did it. But, like, he was, like, had him nodding type shit. Like, he was not, like, the homeless guy was nodding off. I'm like, nah, don't do that. So, like, I'm like, all right, matter of fact, bring your bike inside the establishment. What's the most they gonna say? If you a paying customer, they not gonna care if you bring your vehicle. Like, the form of transportation he had. That's what I'm saying. I keep saying vehicle. The form of transportation he had. So he's like, all right, bet. He bring as I'm, and it was like gender roles had something to do with this because like for a reason I decided I wanted to, because he had his form of transportation, so like his hands was full. So I'm like, all right, let me open the door. So I opened the door for him. As I opened the door for him, before he could even get in the establishment, them same two ghetto ass bitches, like, they leave out the restaurant. Now, mind you, when they was coming out of direction the first time, they was all rowdy. Like, they was all, like, ghetto, ratchet, like, wilding. Like, and talking about they didn't just fought somebody and they ain't scared and they, like, all popping it. But, when I opened the door for the guy to go into the scenario of the establishment to go get something to eat, these women were leaving out the store, so I was holding the door open for them to leave. And now, all of a sudden, they like the nicest, sweetest people in the world, smiling and laughing. They not in this ghetto ratchet mood no more. I'm like, what the heck? So I was like, all right, whatever. So the guy ordered his food, so whatever. Now, that was a couple days ago. So the yesterday I had seen the Pikes guy again. So when I seen him again, he had he kept doing that like follow me around method, like, and I was getting a little weirded out, but I was just like whatever, like, is it like not like that, but I'm like whatever, you know. So I'm like cool. And then I assumed that the guy had a crush on me or something like that, but I was like, like, first of all, I know he's not like specifically my type, and I know if he was direct with me and say, yeah, you know, I like you, can we take it further, I probably, you know, that's when the moment of truth would came. But hopefully he don't do that with me. Because, like, he cool. I like talking to him from time to time. But, like, there's something about this Pisces guy. I ain't gonna hold you. Something about his energy is, like, I don't know if it's a thing with me and Pisces. It is. But, like, I don't know if it's a thing with me and Pisces. Because, like, I just don't know. That's why I was asking him questions. Because I was asking questions. I'm like, what this mean? Because it's something. And even when I be, no funny. I'll be asking him questions about Pisces. Like, let's say we having a conversation. And he do something that I feel as though a Pisces would do. And I'd be like, Pisces shit. This nigga would like look like he's gotten so offended, but like he tried to play it off like he not offended. I'm like, no, like, because and then that's why I asked him a question yesterday. I'm like, I was talking to him. I think I spoke about it in the other message, but I was like, if a Pisces is emotionally intelligent and you know you do something to makes them like mad, sad, feel bad, whatever the case may be, and then they don't want to talk to you or something like that. Like, do they still hold it against you if they know with their emotional intelligence that you didn't mean no harm or that was never your intent? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, type shit, Pisces shit. So, and then he'll get like he'll be low key offended, But it's like, it's nothing to be offended about if you know that's your characteristic. So like, I be trying not to Pisces shit. I don't be trying to be like type shit, Pisces shit with him, because like, I don't know if that's a Pisces. I think it's a Pisces thing. I think you can Pisces don't like to be told about themselves. Don't shoot the messenger. But I did learn that I know Pisces to be like, for the most part, pretty good people. When they care about you, they pretty good people. Anywho's. And then like I knew like, all right. So this is what it was. So like I was talking to Pisces yesterday, and then there was the oil man, the fragrance man was outside, and I had made a connection with him via based off the Pisces, I guess. But I already had a conversation with him before, but because the Pisces was there, he was like making an extra effort, and I was talking about this in the previous message too, and he had just swiped like this, not swiped, but like he had put his product on my hand. And he was like, yeah, this that new shit is nice, this and third. Now, granted, this scent was really good. It was Nicki Minaj. It was a Nicki Minaj scent, and I was like, oh, he said it's called Nicki Minaj. I'm like, yo, this shit smells good. But I know, me personally, my own personal bias. When he said the scent was called Nicki Minaj, I'm like, oh, it about to be some dumb shit about to happen. So I ain't gonna hold you, no shade. But she's a Sagittarius placement, so I'm like, oh nah. And when he said, oh yeah, the Nicki Minaj, he's like, oh yeah. Then he started talking about some, oh, that's your girlfriend. You like her type of. I'm like, nigga, no, like, don't amp this nigga head up like that, because like, that's not the one I want. Like I'm trying to make him the homie, like chill, like. And then this nigga over there blushing and shit. I'm like, oh nah. I smooth walked off. I'm like, nah, you need to know this, not that. So like, walk off. He still continues to follow me. I'm like, all right. So when we went shopping, we went to the store, and he acted like he playing like he was walking around like he my boyfriend or something. Like, what? But I ain't mind this. I'm going shopping, whatever. I'm gonna do what I came outside to do. He ain't have nothing to do but just to follow me, watch me, see what I got going. When I say this man was watching me shop, yo, I'm just like, all right, whatever. So I'm just taking that. I'm like, God probably prepping me for something. So I'm like, all right. So he watching everything I'm picking up, putting down, all type of stuff. So I'm like, all right. So, like I've said, I had asked him. I'm like, you want anything? Because he was being so nice to me. I'm like, do you want anything? I just like, he couldn't buy up the whole store now, but like, I'm like, you want something? He was like, no. I'm like, all right. So in the midst of that, I was telling him I was gonna make cookies. He's like, what kind of cookies? I'm like, red velvet cookies. He was like, all right. So I started telling him how I'm gonna make the cookies. He's like, and you gonna use what? You gonna use what? Because it's like this really cool like recipe or whatever. And he like decent. He was looking at me like, you can't make cookies with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just ignoring him. And then he takes it a step further. He picks up the item I'm going to purchase, and then reads the ingredients. I'm like, it be like, I'm like, oh wow. But like the guy, I ain't gonna hold you. He's very intellectual, very intellectual. So he's reading it, and then he actually taught me something. He showed me two ingredients in the product I bought, and he was like, "This is the reason why you're able to make cookies with this product, because it had these two ingredients in there, and this is what's going to help with the structure, the foundation of the cookies." So I'm like, all right. So fast forward, I told you he didn't want nothing from the store. He walked me home, and I'm like, all right, that's so nice. Then he asked for my contact information. I'm like, here we go. But yeah, I've been trying to be nice about that, because, like, really, peep game. So, fast forward, the next day come, he texts me. He went from, like, when I gave him my number, he told me his phone was off, so he had to, like, text me when he got in the house, and when he got in the house, he did text my phone. So when I woke up, and by the time I started making cookies, stuff like that, he's been texting me and stuff like that. He then tells me that he don't got a phone no more. Something happened to his phone. I'm like, what could have happened in less than 24 hours? And so that's all I need to know. Because God showed me signs like that, like, because I already was feeling. I like our intellectual conversations, but my spirit was like, and I don't want to say it was because of the wicked shit, but it kind of was about the wicked shit. So, but you know, this American Heritage Society, like we can have intellectual conversations, but anything past that, like, you know, anything other else outside of that, no. So like, what happened was I started making the cookies today, right? So he texts me. He started telling me he not on the phone. He can't. His phone broke. He got to wait to get a new phone, and within less than 24 hours of me getting his number, getting his number and stuff like that. And then he started telling me he on the laptop and shit. And then next thing you told me, he was like, "Yeah, I'm nearby your home. I'm just be outside." I'm like, what? I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like that shit. If I'm not interested in you, I don't like that type of shit. And it'd be like, y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. Like when, anywho's. So I'm just like, at first I was replying a little quick. Once he started talking about he outside the home and all type of stuff, and he's like basically like, let me know he's waiting for the opportunity to see me. I'm like, I started texting back slow as fuck. Now. It's not funny, but it's funny. But like, cause I know me, cause I'm not a I like people, but I don't like people. So at the same time, it's like when it comes to phone conversations and texting, like I really got really like you, cause I don't hold phone conversation, messaging like for a long extended period of time unless I like you for real. So fast forward, he started saying like he's saying he's sending me messages, but they not sending. So I'm just like, mind you, he's like double, triple texting me. I'm just like, what do you even send me? He was saying he wanted some cookies. I'm like, didn't I just ask this dude? I'm like the same guy who was trying to make like indirectly make fun of me for making these cookies. Now he wants the cookies. I felt as though when he asked for the cookies, I don't think he wanted the cookies for real. I felt as though he wanted to see it was possible that I could make cookies out of the products I made because he was already skeptical about it. That's my own, point of view on this scenario. So I'm like, all right. I told him, yeah, you can get an order of cookies. So, because his phone off, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna let you know when he said, I'm gonna let you know when I'm like basically there. And I'm just like, whoa. I'm just like, all right, whatever, cool. So, before, like, I make the cookies, I put his cookies to the side. I'm trying to, like, I had to go do an errand real quick. So, I'm going to go do this errand. I see my neighbor. Now this my. I don't want to be rude, but yo, I see my cokehead of a neighbor. All right, this guy, he be lit, like he be up, like he's a functioning like cokehead, crackhead, whatever you want to call it. He one of them functioning ones. All right. So I see him, and he talking to the boys, and he nowhere near his home. So I'm just like. Now, backstory, not really backstory. Like I always in the back of my mind always thought like he was like an informant or some shit. But I you like how you like I can't prove it, but always thought he was like an informant or some shit. But I'm not gonna get into why. So anyways, so I see him doing that. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on? But I was like, I'm on my business. So I kept it pushing. So the guy, mind you, the guy's supposed to be around locally in my area, waiting for me and these cookies. But I had to go do an errand real quick. So like it would have been a chance encounter for him to see me type it was a possibility of that. So before I get to any location where he could have possibly like seen me, I was visible, stuff like that. I get this really alright. So for like the previous day, maybe even because I came in contact with this guy, I don't know. I've been hearing this song in my head, like in my mind for the last couple of days because them trending sounds online. Like kept hearing that Lil Durk song. I don't know what the song is. I don't listen to Lil Durk anymore, for various reasons. Now, I like Lil Durk music, but I cannot listen to it. I cannot put it on the playlist. Nothing. Mind you. I don't want to talk about my ex in this one. Not anyways. That song was like, I'm the type to hop on the flight with Yeah, I'm the type to hop on a flight with a warrant. You gotta catch me. That song, that one right there, just that part. I'm the type to hop on a flight with a warrant. You gotta catch me. That one. So that song kept playing as I was about to go do this errand. I'm like, all right, let me make a video real quick. And then I was gonna put. I'm still gonna do it, but I was gonna put like um you gotta like in regards to you gotta catch me because everybody was doing like that viral trend and stuff like that, that trending video, and I basically was gonna put like in regards to like me, like the longevity of me texting and calling somebody. I was gonna put on there something like that, right? Something silly. So I go do this errand. I go do the errand, whatever, like that. The dude man texts me. Mind you, he said he texted me off a laptop, so I'm just like, all right. Like my whole thing was he said he was at work. I like as long as I known this man, I've never seen him with a 9 to 5. As long as I know of this man, I've never seen him with a 9 to 5. So when he was telling me he had work on a laptop and he is somewhere near my vicinity, I was just like, yo, I don't know what. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's be for real. I'm gonna be for real. I'm gonna be quite honest. I thought he was trying to set me up. I didn't want to. I didn't want to overthink it. I don't know what kind of setup it was. I just felt like something wasn't right. I just automatically think like, is the nigga trying to set me up? Like, cause he didn't made his way, followed me all the way to my house yesterday. So I'm just like, you can. All right. So backstory. So he was texting me yesterday after he walked me back home and he had charged his phone. So he was like, oh, do you know them usual questions that sometimes can be creepy depending on the context of the person and whatever the conversation is. He was like, oh yeah, do you live alone? I said, I would never do that. I would never do that. He said, why? What the fuck? Like, when I say, like, I'm trying to give you a chance. Like, I'm trying to give you a chance. Like, to even have this number. Like, I'm just like, yo. Because, like, me and people, is like, I like people, but at the same time. So, when he was like, why? I'm just like, I said whatever I said, and he was just like, he texted something like, I wish I had a family like that. Now, backstories, all right, so I ain't want to bring my ex into this. Now, me and my ex had this song. Our song was Homebody by Lil Durk with Tiana Taylor. All right, I didn't want to bring that into it. Now, backstory, my ex, right? Not to bring him into this and stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna just say, like, family is important to him, but he did have a lot of tragedy in regards to loss of family members. All right, so it always occurred to me in the back of my mind the reason why he acted the way he acted towards me in certain scenarios was because he felt as though like my family dynamic was stronger than his. Keep that in mind. My ex is a Pisces, and so was this man that was texting me yesterday talking about I wish my family was like that. And I felt like he kind of like licked up my home and just started assuming shit. And then, mind you, before the fact, he wanted me to do errands, so he was seeing me pick up stuff at the store and stuff. And then I felt already like he was trying to like judge my life based on these encounters, but more having to do with himself, I guess. So basically, I get what I need to get from the store doing the errands. I leave out the vicinity. I see the nigga. The nigga is talking to somebody. So I started walking him closer so he could see it's me. Mind you, I know he visually sees it's me. I saw him looking at me from a distance because I told him where I was going. So like it kind of looked like he was looking for me. But he just happened to be talking to somebody at the time. Hold that thought. No pun intended. So he then, as I start begin to get closer, I don't know who he's talking to. I don't really care. He just said he wanted to order cookies. I was about to because I know that he said his phone was off and all this type of stuff. And he was using a laptop. I didn't see a laptop in hand, obviously. I'm like, all right, I'm about to tell him like, let's go get these cookies, this order that you wanted. As soon as I start getting closer to him, he start like the person talking to him. And he's looking directly across the street, not in my direction, not in the direction of the person he's talking to. Like, it was like this unspoken word and cue in regards to, like, do not come over here, or I don't want you to see who I'm talking to, or it was some weird scenario. And I'm just like, I'm not going to argue with the scenario. I'm going to mind my business. And I took my butt home. I did not go in his direction, nothing like that. And when I did get closer, I got to see who it was. So I previously used to have this friend that was an Aries. When I was friends with the Aries, not like she started bringing me around her family and friends and stuff like that. And one of her family friends or friends was this Pisces nigga, and he'd be here and there, and he would do nice stuff for them and stuff like that. Like he would go on errands for them type shit. Like, and the Aries person that I used to be cool with, she had an older sibling who had the same name as my ex friend, and they the same zodiac sign. I knew when I met that person that something with the fuck was going on, because it's like, why you got my previous ex best friend's name? Oh, excuse me, we was not best friends. Why you got my previous ex friend name and the same zodiac sign? So I knew, do not talk to that bitch. Like, even though like that was my previous friend's sibling, I didn't talk to that bitch. And like, she was a Virgo. And then, but at the same time, it's like I be wanting to like Virgos, but like sometimes I just be like, yo, it's like either here or there. Like, so when I first was met the Virgo female, she had I'm friend, mind you, I used to be friends with the Aries. The Virgo was her older sibling. She ain't had nothing to do with me. We ain't had no conversation. The first conversation she really had with me, she walked up to me. She was like, "Oh yeah, my younger sister is talking shit about you." The one I was friends with. And I'm just like, the fuck. To be honest, I ain't gonna hold you. I believed her. I believed her. I'm like, she ain't had no reason to lie to me. You don't know me to come up to me lie to me. But my previous friend, that got the same name as Zodiac as her, sun sign, she would do some shit like that. But it's kind of like, you wouldn't really. I just thought it was weird, and I stopped being friends with them people and being around them people because like they used to be like involving me in shit that ain't have nothing to do with me. Like, the reason I stopped being friends with the Aries is because alright, the Aries I used to be friends with used to bring me around her friends and family stuff like that. I ain't gonna hold you, they was in the ghetto. I ain't a ghetto girl, but it's like that don't mean nothing to me. I can be cool with anybody as long as you cool with me and you like a decent person for the most part, yeah, God fearing, all that. But I stopped being friends with her because she had a side nigga that she didn't want the community to know she had a side nigga. And then she would, in order to not let anybody know that she had a side nigga, she would ask me to tag along. So I used to be like third party, but not like in whatever they had going on. It's like she tried to use me to cover up what the fuck she had going on. Something that other Virgo is. Anyways, don't worry about it. So like, I stopped being friends with her because she told me, like, I found out from the people in the community that she was telling people, and he was telling people, her side nigga, that we was having threesomes. And if you know me, I'm very heterosexual, so I took so much offense to that. And I remember we was outside one day, in front of the whole community, her community at that. And it was the side nigga, the older sibling, that said that shit in front of everybody. I stood up. I said, "Tell them you're lying." I was like, "Tell them you're lying." They looked at me like they was confused. Smooth stopped being friends with them. Smooth stopped being friends with them. And then that Virgo older sibling of hers, because they didn't want to clear this shit up. It's so ironic. That Virgo older sibling of theirs snatched her man's up, got pregnant by that side nigga. And I'm just like dysfunction. I could not. But yeah, that Virgo older sibling is the one. All right, so now backstory. A lot I know, I make music. So a few months ago, maybe last year, really, I don't really recall, somewhere in between that timeline. I had made some music. I make music, and it was like some guys in the community, they trying to get at me, try to talk to me. So what I used to do is, like, instead of giving them my number, I'll give them my YouTube. I'm like, you gonna listen to this. So one of the guys, he was trying to get at me, so he wasn't really trying to listen to the music. So like, I'm like, you can get my number. I told him something like, you can get my number if you give me a review or something like that. And he ain't never really do it because he ain't really on shit, So like, he kept trying to get at me. I'm like, you ain't even this, that, and third. And then I was having a conversation about that one day previously, and then that Virgo older sibling had came up, and she be so weird. Like, one day she fuck with me, another day she don't fuck with me. It depends on who around her or not around her. So like, I just be like to me it's like whatever. I really don't care. Like, I was never friends with her. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, all the niggas they trying to talk to me. Mind you, these not even like niggas that have the ability, capacity to date me. To be on, in all honesty, they not in my league, and I'm not even trying to be funny or nothing like that. It's just like they not in my league. Now, did I used to fuck with niggas like that? Yeah, a long time ago. But that don't mean I don't gotta talk to them. I'm not gonna snare my nose up at them. So she was like, she had walked up while I was talking to the guy, and I guess all the other guys would give me attention. Mind you, I'm not asking for that attention. So she do something, I guess, while I wasn't looking. Mind you, I don't know if that was her boyfriend or somebody she was dating at the time. It seems as though that nigga left her. Came to tell me, yo, he told me, yo, stop fucking with her. Like, I don't think she fuck with you like that. Da 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 da. I'm just like, alright, bet. You won't say no more. So ever since then, I stopped talking to her because they be so like the fact that that Pisces guy was like had her in her all in like she was all up in his face or whatever like that, and he did not want me to. It's like I already know, like I already know what I know. So it was just like, all right, I'm not. I just felt like if I would have went towards him in that scenario, some dumb shit would have happened, and that for no reason. So I was just like, all right, I'm taking it home, whatever the case may be. And then I saw him as I was going in a different direction, leaving with her. So I'm just like, dang. I'm like, dang. And then I realized it was some sort of alchemy going on there, because I'm just like, he asked me for cookies, right? Red velvet cookies. Tell me why the bitch was wearing a red hoodie. Kid you not. Was wearing a red hoodie. So as he was leaving with the Virgo woman, the older Virgo woman with the red hoodie, I'm just like, did we just do, because I told you he was Wiccan. I'm like, did we just do some sort of alchemy just now? Did he just try to use me to get bitches? Anyways, I'm like, dang, I ain't even gonna hold you. I think them red velvet cookies would have been a little bit more healthier than whatever that was. So, anywho, today is Tuesday, November 11, 2025. This message was curated when my phone was on 29%. All right. So, and it was curated at 9:14 p.m. Something about Aries, Scorpio, zodiac and embodiments, also Aquarius. Something about business, self-entrepreneurship, miracle, some sort of prediction. God saying value your gifts, trust your intuition, and protection overall. Something about like the channel messages like previously, like almost like, you know, or the day before. There's something God mentioned also, because when I was put previously in the day before in my notes, it's something about the morning after pill, and then like right next to it is like you dodged the bullet. I don't know somebody, like I don't know like if somebody had plans on coming towards you, and whether knowingly or unknowingly they possibly were gonna get you pregnant, and it happened to somebody else. And that person took a morning after pill. So if this person tended to get this other person pregnant, or you take the message out resonates, you took that morning after pill. This person took the morning after pill. I remember. This is not funny. This is not funny whatsoever. I remember. You know how people have them like anonymous question pages. You go ask them anonymous questions. I had to take that shit down, because the questions I used to begin, or the things people used to be saying to me, like I didn't know how to handle it back then, because like people are very interesting. Some people are just very interesting. I remember this one person messaged me anonymously, was like, I nutted in you, where's my baby? What? Yo. And then people wonder why I be like, I like people but I don't like people, because like who even think like that? And why are you asking a not? And what? Wrong person. Anywho's. So, like I said, I had a convo with a Pisces Leo. You could be having a conversation with a Pisces Leo embodiment, maybe a musician, someone in the entertainment industry, maybe a sex worker. Not over here. Someone doesn't want store-bought items. I'll put in my notes, feels just like home. Like, where did I write that? Someone got distracted. So like if this is in regards to like romance and stuff like that, you had like a romantic love interest or something like that, somebody got distracted by a hoe. I ain't even about to even hold you. Like, cause I wrote my notes, can't turn a hoe into a housewife, because like this guy was asking me to make cookies, and I had just posted something online that I seen from the Joe Budden podcast, and it was him and I forgot what the name of the other females podcast is, but it's very like prominent. People know the podcast, and they were talking about like women, like more like celebrities though, like women who, you know, they go for like the rich guys, and then or like they're into like the sex working industry, and then like they go after like the money and talking about the management of so money, and then the women who mismanage their money either in this sex working industry, or women who go after a certain guy who has money, they mismanage the money, God forbid my life, and then they have to like settle for something that they're projecting not to be. I don't know, like basically like women who basically go after men who with money, and if they get dumped, or if they something happens where they're not with the person who got all that money who's supporting them, then they have to lower their standards. And like, so you want to like the women who go after celebrity men with money, and then like instead of being with the celebrities, they have to be with like a doctor, a lawyer, the corny guy or something like that. And I don't find that corny, but you know, but like to them that's not up to their standards. And then Joe Budden had made the point in the conversation saying like the house, he's like, bring house moms back. And so like when I was making the cookies, I'm like niggas out here chasing, like I'm just thinking myself, I'm like niggas out here chasing hoes that want to fuck on multiple niggas and stuff like that. And I'm at home baking cookies. I'm like how many females you know out at home baking cookies? Just joking with myself, talking to God, you know, jokey. But in all actuality, you know. So like, all right, I guess all right. So something about the phrase offer, like, or the app offer up. Something about the phrase saying order up. And then there's something God wants to know, like something about odor. I was trying to do I did this message. I tried to do this one message about 5 times, and the video kept disappearing. And mind you, this was like 10-minute videos. So imagine me trying to do a video 5 times for 10 minutes each, and I was so determined. And it's because like the person I was trying to use as an example in the I was trying to teach you guys how to do alchemy. And so you see how like it's something about like, you know, like when people used to be in like class environments where you gotta do like group projects, and there's one person or somebody in the class do something wrong, the whole class or the whole people in regards to the project all like get reprimanded. It's like somebody don't want you. Let me lose. But anyway, it's something about somebody older. It's like somebody could be having older problems right now, and like it's I forgot which one the clearest it is, where you're able to pick up on like the smells to know what's going on spiritually. And it's like you might be just doing your own thing, you know, smelling good, looking good, all that. Then there's somebody that's just been projecting on you. So like you've been smelling these weird smells, and you know it's not coming from you. So like this person could possibly stink, God forbid, on my life, and they've been projecting on you to like not do certain things, and then you are unaware or aware to it, and then you just be smelling like these bad smells, and it's not coming from you, and like it's that person, they stink. God forbid on my life. And someone doesn't want you to be viewed as influential. That's what it really is. It's like somebody feels like if you teach people, or you people learning from you in any type of way, it takes away from them or something like that. It's like, all right, get smart, bitch. Like the fuck, like get your knowledge up. I don't know, like the fuck, like what's that got to do with me? I don't want to be smelling your stink ass energy. Like what the fuck? Now, anyways, it's something about like someone overbooked, or something about bookings, like in regards to like your career and stuff like that. You might be overbooking. You might have to look into like time management, or like your schedule. You need to get more into scheduling and stuff like that, because you have a lot of bookings coming up and you may not receive it. Um, something about, because like I did a lot of Virgo messages, all right, and a lot of them was corresponding, resonating with like Beyonce, I guess. So like, there's something about the evolved Virgo and the unevolved Virgo, and or like just like the evolved and unevolved version of any zodiac sign, prominent placement, embodiment. Learning to know, differentiate, know which one is which, you know, no pun intended. And something about a change direction, like let's say, because this was a common theme previously in my life, where in regards to my romantic life, it will be always two people, and it probably because of, like, my Gemini embodiments, but like it will always be two people in my love interest life, in my romantic aspect, whatever. No shade. I will always find myself in this situation where, like, you know how people be like, "Can you love two people?" Man, fuck out of here. Now, it will always be like two people that come up to me and want to, like, and they'll be like have similar, either the same or similar zodiac sign or embodiment, and then try to be my love interest. So you're trying to figure out who's the evolved and not unevolved version of the sign. It's something like that. So, no, using discernment that, so you know what direction to go towards in regards to people overall. It doesn't just have to be like romantic. It could be platonic. It could be business partnership in your seventh house. Yeah. Now let's get into it. So after that, I left that guy. He left with the unevolved Virgo. I come back in the direction of my home. Before I get to my home, I see my neighbor. Mind you, the neighbor that was talking to the boys when I had first went to go do that errand, I was like, I'm on my business. Now he, like, I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, I shouldn't say nothing to him. But I was trying to be nice. Because he was already looking my direction. So he was looking my direction. He basically was saying, hey, I'm like, hey, neighbor, whatever the case may be. This nigga he started acting like the Pisces. He wanted to follow me everywhere. This nigga was following me everywhere I was going. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then, like, I don't think he was, like, he wasn't sober. I don't know what he was off of. He was like, I didn't think he was gonna do anything to me or anything like that. But like I don't really talk to him because like he give me this weird vibe. I always kind of look at him that he be doing some other shit he ain't supposed to be doing. So I just kind of keep my distance from him, even though he's my neighbor. So after I told my neighbor, I was like, "Hey neighbor, this nigga just started following me." He's like, "Hey, I gotta talk to you. I gotta tell you something." He really was talking like that, and I was just like, "Whoa!" Like, I'm just like, "Whoa!" So he started telling me. He said, "I need to tell you something. I'm like, "What you gotta tell me?" He said, well, he said, I've been living here for 22, 24 years. He said, you don't freaking talk. He said, you don't talk to nobody. He said, I've been living here he said, you're so quiet. You don't talk to nobody. I'm like, I'm over here. I start getting happy. When he starts saying shit. I'm like, oh my God. I start going like, God is talking to me through this man. Oh my God. I never expected. Because I was just talking to other messages like, God talked to through certain people, stuff like that. And, it kind of was happening with the Pisces too. So I'm like, all right, let me see where this goes. So he was following me while I was like trying to make it home. But I was kind of like, yeah, he's my neighbor. He's not going to follow me home. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh my God. This nigga started like wailing. Like, he talking. So I'm thinking it's a good thing. I started telling him, I'm so happy you told me that. Because like, contrary to popular belief, I really to be by my, like, not by myself, God forbid. I be to myself. I don't mind being around people. I don't mind talking to people. I'm more of a like, you gotta start conversation with me for me to talk to you. If I feel like I want to speak to you, I'm gonna speak to you. Other than that, I be to myself. I be minding my business. And then it be like, and the people who really know me, they know this about me. It don't matter how great my personality is, I really like being to myself. It's less troublesome. Alright? But that doesn't mean I want to be a lonely person. That doesn't mean I don't want to talk to people, be around people. I want to be around the right people. So, I'll explain that to him. He tried to interject the conversation. He's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, it's not bad. But he's like, yo, I've been living here 22 years. you don't say shit to me. Mind you, this is an old man. Like, this is a young old man. So I'm just looking at him like, what? Like, I'm like, what the fuck do we actually have to, what do we have to talk about? Like, honestly, what do we have to talk about? So I'm just like, all right, let me hear him out because I don't want to be rude. But then he starts describing my family members. He said, y'all all the same way. Y'all don't talk to me. He's like, matter of fact, your father. Like, I'm just like, shit. He started talking about my father. He's like, nah. Your father do be saying stuff. He do be saying like, he'll say like one or two things. Then he won't say shit else. I'm like, dang. Whole time my mind's like, I wonder why. Like, I wonder why. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I come from a minority family, and ethnically we're African, Nigerian at that. So it's like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be too stereotypical. But if you are a coke crackhead, a functioning one at that, I'm pretty sure there's no elderly African person that's going to go out their way to talk to you. I'm not trying to be funny. And he was just talking about, I'm just telling him, like, I'm like, that's just how we was raised. And he was like, you act just like your father. You act just like your father. I'm like, and I does. So, like, what about it? Like, I'm trying to see where you're going with it. Like, he's like, no, I'm not trying to offend you, this and that. He's like, he just kept saying that shit. You don't talk about it. And I'm just laughing because, like, for me to be on these, like, for me to be a digital content creator, there's so many people on the internet that think otherwise about me. And I think it's the funniest thing ever because it's like, dang, like, this nigga been my neighbor for 22 plus years, and I don't talk to him at all. There's neighbors I have that I haven't even spoken to. Real shit. And it's like, he was really telling the truth. But like, I don't think it was like, and like, he did show me, like in a sense, he was kind of saying like y'all really isolate yourselves from everybody else, and y'all be doing your own thing. And I'm like, you're not wrong about that. But it's like, I'm not alright. But he seemed like he was so affected by my family not talking to him, and then he starts going. Then it get weird. Then it got weird. I said, "Oh fuck no!" I was like, "I gotta get the fuck away from this nigga." But I didn't want to be rude because he was off the drugs, and I was. Just, I ain't know. I'm just looking like if he move any type, like in one part of the conversation while he was telling me shit, and he was just going hype. He had put his fist up, and I told him I was so calm. I'm like, put your fist down, and he was like, no, I would never. Same nigga who told me some shit like that, he did some bullshit. All right, so I'm just like, oh nah, like I ain't even gonna hold you. A few weeks ago, this nigga, another nigga then said that he had basically this woman was like like he was in a domestic violence relationship. A nigga was saying this. He was in a domestic violence relationship. Female was beating on him. So and then he gonna publicly tell everybody he defended himself and beat this girl back. And the whole time I'm just like, because of what the previous relationship was with the person, partnership was with the person. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm not trying to make fun of domestic violence relationships. Trust me, I only have one physical scenario. I ain't gonna talk about anything else but that. But like, so trust me, I understand that's not cool. You don't gotta tell me twice. I've always been the type of person in regards to DV. I don't play that shit. You make a joke about that shit in regards to like actually doing that to somebody. You try to do that shit to me. I'm leaving, calling the cops. Fuck is you talking about? So when I heard this guy talk about like he probably could tell everybody he had beat this woman because she was beating him. I'm like, why the fuck would you say some shit like why the? I'm not saying don't get your justice. Don't defend yourself. I'm just saying like the stigma on that was just like yo like so. Back to this guy, like, so he had put his fist up. I'm like, yo, put your fist down. He's like, no, I would never. All right, because the same another nigga said that same shit. And that nigga turned out to be sexually abusive. I ain't gonna hold you. Anywho's. It got weird because he started describing my family members. So this nigga basically told me, I don't know if I want to say that word, basically told me from his observation of 22 years at his residence, he was watching this the whole time. And it wasn't even about us not talking to him. This nigga started describing the women's bodies in my family, yo. The women's bodies, including children. I really wanted to curse this nigga the fuck out, but I'm like, this is my neighbor. I gotta see this nigga every fucking day. I should have just cursed him out anyways, but I was thinking longevity. I'm just like, I really should curse him out. I told him stop playing with me, yo. I was like, yo, stop playing with me. I'm like, yo, that's a child. Why are you describing a child's body parts? Like, fuck out of here. He was like, yeah. You're skinny. You're skinny, but that sibling, they got curves here, and that sibling, they got a big ass ass. And I'm just like, whoa. And it was so interesting to me because like he like, I remember he was like, oh, first he was like, oh yeah, you're just like your father. Then he said that he was like my mother or something like that. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to say something. 'Cause I'm like, you didn't call my father the necromancer. You didn't call my father's name. But I was waiting for him to say something about my mother, and but he just like smooth slid past that. He's like, but your middle sibling, yeah, she got her ass fat and this. I'm like, what? He's like, but you're skinny. I'm just like, what is wrong with this nigga? And so, channel message, it's a creepy ass nigga somewhere in the midst. Get him the fuck out of here. All right. So yeah. I'm still at, like, I don't know what to say about that. Like, what? Like, this nigga full heartedly admitted to me that this nigga be looking at children. I don't know. You cannot make this shit up. Like, when I say my life really been a movie, like, this shit been a movie. Like, I'm just like, ain't no way this nigga just came and confessed to me that this nigga be looking at children. And I'm like, God forbid, not my child. What? Call the cops. But the nigga went to go call, the nigga went to go talk to the boys before he had a conversation with that. I think that's the wildest thing. And then like the nigga tried to, like, he my neighbor and everything like that. And he just kept saying, oh my God, he kept reiterating like, y'all don't talk to nobody. Oh my, y'all so quiet to yourself. This nigga literally was walking like he was trying to walk up in my home. I'm like, bitch, I rebuke you. Like, stop playing with me. After that comment he made about children, I said, oh fuck no. I'm like, this is the exact reason we probably don't talk to you. Because I always had this weird vibe about him that he was weird. And I'm like, this is another scenario I can get into, but I'm not going back to the past. So, yeah. You got a weird neighbor. I don't know what the fuck that means. You got a weird ass neighbor. They like children. Call the cops. Like, that's all I'm saying. Call the cops. Because God forbid. Because it's... Now, you know what? I'm gonna have to go look at the you know what? That's the message. Hope you got something from this message, y'all. Cause that shit, like, I thought the cookie shit was wild. The nigga waiting on me with a laptop outside was wild. That nigga right there, and I ain't even gonna hold you. I believe in, like, there is no coincidences. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something happens for a reason type shit. So, like, the fact that nigga, like, didn't pick up the cookie order, and then he went with somebody that alright, so, not to talk shit about this person, but the uninvolved Virgo that he's with, like, she's an informant. Because when I was friends with the Aries, she had showed me documentation of her, like, snitching on people in her community. And I'm talking about, like on paperwork, snitching on, like hood niggas that really was getting into shit. And I'm like, oh, that's another reason why I don't be fucking with that woman like that. So, cause that's wild. Like, like, it's one thing you got to be gossiping, but to be, like, actually snitching on niggas in the court of law that be into some real shit, I said, and then he walked off with her and shit. And no funny shit, like, she had got her children took and shit. Like, so I'm like, I'm definitely not trying to merge energies with you. So, I rebuke you, God forbid. And so, like, for that old weird ass man neighbor to come and start telling me that he basically be like children, or be looking at children or some shit like that, I'm like, yo, what the fuck did I just avoid? That nigga because that's all, I felt like that old man was trying to tell me something about that Pisces Leo man that didn't come pick up that cookie order. You see how I was supposed to say order, but it said odor. Something I could say about that in regards to that man, but I ain't gonna do it. Alright, that's the message.